Whether you have a canoe or are thinking about getting one, all animal lovers want two things. We want to be able to bring our dogs along, and we want for them to be as happy and comfortable as possible. In this video tutorial, I will show you how we modified our canoe to add more traction on the bottom for a safer and more comfortable ride. I'm Chelsea with Positive Futures. Thanks for tuning in for our dog adventure tips. We really enjoy being outdoors with our dogs. During the summertime, our favorite activities are on the water. And just like all aspects of our life, our boating adventures are made more fun by bringing our dogs along. But I don't love seeing my dogs slip and slide. Slipping can not only cause injury, but it can also create lots of unnecessary stress, which for some dogs could completely spoil the experience. So, to ensure safe boating and help our dogs have a good time, we decided to make some small modifications to our canoe. We start by cleaning out the canoe. You can use a little soap and water or a gentle cleaner to make sure that there is no grime left on the canoe that could affect the adhesive. After the surface has been prepped and is sand and dirt free, we are ready to begin fitting the mat. After some research, we chose to install the Black Tip Jet Sports traction mat. The mat is dense foam that provides both traction for the dogs and comfort as they lay on it. As a pro, it's easy to install without the mess of glue. It took less than an hour for us to measure, cut, peel, and press the mat into place. We begin by assessing the overall length and width of the mat to determine exactly where on the canoe we'd like the mat to be. With the potential of bringing all three of our dogs, we decide to lay the mat between the two seats, creating a slip-free zone for all three of the dogs. We use a tape measure to find the maximum width that we want the mat to cover. This is an important number because it allows us to cut off any extra mat that will just be in the way during installation. We lay the mat flat and use the tape measure to mark the maximum width. We use a scissors to cut off the extra width so that we have less mat to deal with. This makes it easy for us to lay back into the boat to determine any extra that we need to cut off. With the excess cut off, we lay the mat down in the canoe. After carefully positioning the mat in place, we use a permanent marker to mark the edges of the mat so that it rises up the sides of the canoe equally from the front all the way to the back. With our cutting guide in place, we can lay the mat down again to be trimmed. With a pair of scissors, we carefully and easily cut off the extra matting along the sides, shaping the mat so that it covers the bottom and sides of the canoe. Take your time here. Remember that it's always best to trim a little and have to go back to trim more. We choose to have the mat rise up the sides a little for maximum comfort. We lay the mat into the boat once more to ensure that we have trimmed all that we want. When we are satisfied with the fit, we roll the mat from the back side out of the boat. With only the front end in the boat, we can access the adhesive. We peel the film off the back side, exposing the adhesive. With gentle pressure, we push the front of the mat down onto the canoe. We then carefully put the mat back underneath the crossbars of the canoe without exposing any more adhesive. Once it's in place, we can slowly pull the adhesive film from the back end of the mat to remove the film. As we do this, we apply pressure to the mat, moving our hands carefully from the front end towards the back end to lay it down straight and remove any air bubbles as we go. With all of the adhesive backing removed and the mat in place, we quickly work out any air bubbles that we might have missed as we rolled it into place. Firm pressure will be needed as the adhesive is very strong. We apply pressure to the entire mat, removing the air bubbles and making sure that the adhesive is activated with the mat in place. With 24 hours to set, the canoe is ready to use. The soft yet stable mat will give our dogs some grip as they get in and out of the canoe. With some of the mat rising up the sides of the boat, they can also get comfort and support as they settle inside when we paddle. These easy-to-use and self-sticking mats are a great way to add traction for your pup, for your canoe, or your kayak adventures. Now we don't worry about our dogs slipping as they get in and out of the boat or move around to get comfortable. We hope this helps you make your boat more comfortable for your dogs for your summer adventures. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our other adventure tutorials and tips. Thanks for joining us, and happy paddling!